Len, you want to just get a bit closer so I can get you into the shop?
Right. Okay. Just out of the window, so that's all. Okay. We're ready whenever you guys are ready.
I'm fine.
Okay. Paul, what's your last name?
Paul Miller, common spelling?
E-R, yeah.
And Surface Operations Superintendent for PGM?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and describe to us the operation that just took place just a second ago.
Okay, well, it was our first blast, and it's what we call a pioneering blast, so it's an area where we've got a lot of knobs, and this blast was intended to flatten out the area, a process to get a larger, flatter area for us to work in. And typically these blasts will be relatively small, similar to the size you see there, or we had today, which was about 3,500 tons. And then once we get bigger areas available, then we'll increase the size of the blast.
So give us a rundown of the process before blasting.
Well, the initial work is overburden stripped from the area with excavators in this particular case. And then once that's done, then there's a period of drilling where we drill the holes for the explosives. And then once that's done, then an explosive truck comes in, loads the holes up, and the final part is the matting, the blast matting prior to the blast.
How important was it for the operation to get this first blast done?
That was very important. It's been a long time coming, and you know, we look at it as the start in terms of the community. It's a significant event because it is our first blast. Our activities up to this point have been relatively no impact on noise and that, so we were interested to see what this would be in terms of our monitoring and that. So it's very key to us to see what the impacts are, and we'll be reviewing the data from the blast shortly and seeing what the impacts were in terms of noise and vibration and overpressure.
Paul, you were gathering data on several other systems. Tell us about that. Things like overpressure and noise, and is that all part of today's operation?
Yeah, that's all part of today's, so that information will all be reviewed now to look at how that blast, whether it matched up to what we modeled when we did our BMP, and what the impacts were around the property at our different monitoring stations.
So given the data that you're going to receive and review now, how much of a difference will that make to your future blasts?
It could have an impact. You know, the modeling's based on certain assumptions, so we'll be able to verify those assumptions, and then we'll be able to design our future blasts to make sure that we still stay within the guidelines and what we've committed to.
So is this the loudest that we could expect in the future, or?
Well, we'll certainly have larger blasts with more holes in it. Quite often, in terms of the blasting, it's based on the pounds or kilograms you have in each hole. So this would have had a little less than what we'd expect in the future, but not significantly. And it relates to the diameter of the holes. The holes in this case were 4-inch diameter.
So how often can we expect blasts?
We'll be blasting very regularly and on a daily basis from here on in. There may be gaps in that. And again, depending on if adverse weather conditions, then we may not blast on that particular occasion.
Now, after this blast is done, will you be doing any sort of consultations with the public in the vicinity to ask them what they felt, what they heard, anything of that nature?
We'll be, you know, expecting some feedback from the community. And if people do call in and have some feedback, we'd like to hear it and how they felt that this activity impacted them and their residents. And
all they need to do is just contact here?
They can contact our feedback. Heather Goon is our communication coordinator, and she can, actually that's Trish, sorry. Anyways, she can provide some information on that and take that feedback down, which we'll use to help us with our future activities.
The purpose of today's blast then was to what? What was the, it's not really to start the open pit. What was it for?
Well, it is,
oh,
it is to start the open
okay.
pit. This is the first blast, and there'll be a number of smaller blasts in similar size.
Mm-hmm. And how deep do you have to get before you actually start mining the gold?
Well, that depends on the area of the pit. So we expect within the next couple of months that we'll see some work coming out.
Okay.
So obviously this has been a long road up until this point. How does it feel to watch the first blast?
Oh, it's really satisfying, and we're really excited about it. And a lot of hard work from a lot of people went into making this successful. Yeah. And its community liaison coordinator is Heather Goon.
What's your impression? I mean, I didn't feel any great vibration, but maybe that's just me. I'm getting old.
My impression was that normally If you feel something, you would have felt it in the building. I didn't feel anything personally, and certainly in terms of vibration, I don't think there was any significant vibration at the property boundary.
But as you did say, it was a slightly smaller scale
Yes.
than what you might be doing anyway. So.
Yeah. And again, you know, it's based on the pounds per delay or kilograms per hole determines the vibration level.
When was the last time that gold was actually mined at Hollinger, do you know?
That would have been in the 80s.
In the 80s. So this is going to be the first actual mining at this location in about roughly 30 years.
That's correct.
You must be really proud about that as well. I mean, that's quite the accomplishment.
Yeah, and I mean, when we started this project, one of the major focuses for us is to reclaim the land and bring it back to public use. So this is one of the first steps in getting towards that goal and making this land safe and usable for the public.
And just so people can know, when can they expect the next blast? In a couple days?
Possibly Thursday. We haven't confirmed the date. It could be Thursday.
Thank you
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's,
No, thank you.
Yes.
Those blasting mats really are suppressive. Holy crap.
it was kind of anticlimactic. I know Brent and I were in the next room and they say, is that it? Is that it? I said, no. I think Trish tells me there's going to be a bigger blast. They were kind of waiting.
Well, that's good news for us if it's anticlimactic.
Very reasonable.
In comparison to like a massive tragic blast.
The earth didn't move.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. I heard that in my honeymoon.
That's right.
Kind of used to this by now.
Yeah.
But that's good.